sorry I don't have my mic. Still ain't got a mic. I need to get one. This needs to be talked about. Big topic now, trans people. As I said before, I don't care what you do. We don't care what you do. People who are not trans do not give a shit what you do. We don't want to force down our throats. Yeah, the people on the right, though, saying, look, you're calling these people something that they're not. Hey, dipshit, who started that shit? Really, who started calling people or calling themselves nouns that they just were not? I would say the right. With calling people heroes and patriots and all those other feel-good terms. So now another side of the political paradigm adopts your tactics. And you get mad about it? No. You get mad about it. It's your fault, dipshit. Quit doing what you do, and they would have even probably thought about doing what they did. But back to the trans people specifically, we don't give a fuck. I'm not trans. Don't care what you do. I care that you force it on people. I care that you try to act as if this is normal. And, parents already teach their kids to treat other people as they want to be treated. That's a pretty common teaching in most households. And the truth is that we wouldn't even notice that you exist if you didn't say something. If you didn't, well, we wouldn't know, but we wouldn't. You wouldn't be in the limelight anyway. But we don't need trans education in school. We don't need trans story hour. We don't want that shit. Listen, if you were smart, here's what you would have done. Your dumbass would have had some kids before you transitioned. Then you could teach your own little kids what you wanted to teach them. But no, you don't want the responsibility of children. You don't want to do your part biologically. No, you want to force your belief systems, which are completely incorrect, onto other people and their children. At this point, though, we may be sending trade-in and sales back to school, not for, and here's why. My kids know enough and are smart enough that they will never adopt the bullshit. They question authority now. But they need the social interaction. It's just, it's part of growing up. Especially, I can imagine being 16 like trading and not being around girls all the time. So they may be going back to public school next year. But the parents, though, who have children that are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and they haven't taught them the things that I've taught my children, their children haven't been around to see the things my children have been around to see, those parents are definitely fools. Hitler, there's a very good quote from Hitler. I forget what book it said. But he said, why would you let your enemy educate your children? Why would you let your enemy educate your children? And now it's the public school system. It's funded by extortion. And then you don't have a say in what's taught. Well, yeah, what the trans people have a say too. They don't have no fucking kids. And if they do, it's one in a school of 1,500. We're sold this ideal of democracy, which is completely wrong and completely evil. Yet the minority's the ones with all the say. How does that shit work? What is it? Quit buying into the game, people. Quit buying the bullshit on the TV. Stop and learn to think. Learn to block out what you are told to think and learn to think for yourself. It's hard. It's complicated. We've all been brought up to buy into it. But you can stop. You can see something going on. I'm going to give you a good example of how to block this shit out. I was listening to a video a few minutes ago from, I'm not even going to say what the channel name is. He does a lot of off-road racing, drift cars, shit like that. His dad's big into building race cars, shit like that. Bought a skid steer that was a 2018, but he bought it as a 2020. So when he bought it, he thought that he was buying a 2020. So it gets shipped to his house, it's dropped off. Days later, he's looking at it, he's like, wait a second, this is a 2018. So he calls the guy, and the guy's like, well, the customer, not the guy who bought it, but the guy selling it, kept referring to him as the customer. Said this, the customer said that. So you go read the comments and everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's going to be charged criminally. That's fraud, talking about the guy who sold the skid steer. Everybody's forgetting about what he said about the customer. The guy's an equipment broker. The only information he can pass on is the information that's given to him. And I don't know if you know how equipment works or not. So let's say you buy a 2020 Kubota and it's a 2018 model, just because it's been sitting on the lot all the time. The warranty starts at the point of purchase. So I don't know how it's actually done, but it's sold as a 2020 with a 2018 model for warranty purposes only. So an unknowing customer that doesn't know anything about the equipment industry, when he's told this by the person who's selling it to him at the dealership, he's going to think it's a 2020. So when he tells the broker that it's a 2020, the broker doesn't look at the paperwork, which he should have done. And then the guy didn't look at the paperwork when he bought it, which he should have done. Nobody did their due diligence. Regardless, everybody's solution to the problem was to call government, and the district attorney will charge this guy with fraud. I'm like, no, he won't. Stop listening to the bullshit. Stop listening to these two people on a video telling you that they were sold something and it was fraudulent, and stop and think about what actually happened. Most likely it's not fraud. Most likely it's probably just ignorance of how things work more than anything. But the people in all the comments were only listening to what was being said and not thinking past what was being told to them. They wasn't breaking it down. Well, let's see, there's a guy being referred to as a customer, and then there's this customer that bought it, and the guy on the phone that was the middleman. You know, they take limited information, then they come to these stupid ass beliefs from it. But block this shit out. Stop listening to the two people that are telling you that they bought something that was posted, they were frauded or however it's worded. And think about what really happened. No, what really happened is it's probably a mistake on the customer's part, but was it fraud? No, doubtful. I doubt it. Knowing how that industry works a little bit about it, doubtful. It was probably just an honest mistake. But nobody did their due diligence. Nobody stopped and thought for a second, maybe I should check this rather than just believing what the fuck I'm told. But anyway, you patriots and hero lovers out there are the ones that started giving these people these names, which they're not, and now it's passed on to this group and you don't like it. Well, start accepting that you're the problem. You're the major part of the problem, as much the problem as anybody else who is the problem is.